Oh, it's Sunday, March 23rd, and we are working on Hakuna Matata, finally, getting back to the important stuff. Her headlights are all yellowed, so we're gonna polish them up. I've got a kit, and first I'm just gonna take them out and not even try to do it on the bus, because this is pretty easy to remove. Just gotta take out, let's see, 1, 2, I think it's just 3 screws is all I gotta take out. I've already unplugged the wiring harnesses. I got a couple zip ties I got to cut. And then we're going to take the headlight into the shop. All right, that took about 1.5 minutes to remove this headlight. That was real easy. Here's the kit I got. I've never done this before. I understand it's easy to do. And my buddy Ivan LaCroix said it's a decent kit, and I trust him wholeheartedly with anything like this. I tell you, he's the man that knows this stuff. So let's start reading the instructions, or the destructions. Step 1, wash with soap and water. Unfortunately, water got inside this one through the back door. This thing is wet, so I guess that seal has seen better days. I'm glad that when I pulled that cover off, I could see that it was wet right around the seal. Gives me a little bit of comfort that we don't have a crack somewhere. All right, step 2 is really step 1. I got to use these oxidizer remover pads, and they say to use all 5 on the headlights, and do both headlights one after the other. I was going to do one at a time so we can get a before and after look, but I guess this is as good as we're going to get here for the before. I mean, just washing them with soap and water, they look a lot better. Well, I came in the house. This would be easier. My garage is too much of a mess right now. So the second step is to get the sandpaper with the burgundy backing. I think that said that's 2000 grit sandpaper. And you're just wet sanding this thing. If you've never done that before, you just keep it wet with water and go in a non-circular motion is what the instructions recommend. And I took an extra step. I took some simple green and squirted it on there because on the first one, I could feel the paper getting loaded up. Little bits of plastic were getting embedded in the paper. So I took the simple green and put a little squirt on this, and I've got a little plastic hand brush here that I cleaned the sandpaper with, and put a couple little spritzes of the simple green on the light, and then it started sanding again. So I gave it the full 3 or 5 minutes, whatever it is, sanding. And it's still a little cloudy because it's all full of sand scratches. But that's the first sandpaper. And here's what it looks like with it wet. I rinse it off here. You can see the residue come off when I rinse it. I dried this with a paper towel so I could see what's going on here better. And, you know, it's a 20-year-old headlight, so it's not going to look great. But if you look right here, I don't know if we can capture this, but there's some like cracking in the plastic that is probably really deep. I don't think that's on the inside. To me, it looks like it's on the surface. I mean, I've sanded this for the specified amount of time. Over here, Those look like water spots on the inside. So I'm gonna sand this area a little extra and see if that'll come out. All right, additional sanding didn't seem to make any difference. Those are really deep, and that's just going to be how it is. All right, so this is after using the green backed paper, which is 3000 grit, if I remember correctly. And you know, there's still some flaws in it, but there's no way I'm going to be able to sand that out. That's really deep. And this is the one that hasn't had the second sanding yet. You can see that one's clearer than that one. So even with the 3000 grit, you can see the residue, sanding dust, I guess you'd call it. And I'm still using a little bit of simple green. You can see the bubbles in there. It just helps keep the paper from loading up. And I'll do this and then rinse it all off. And rinse the sandpaper off too. And then a couple little spritzes of, just the tiniest amount of simple green. Here, I'll show you. Give it a rinse. And rinse. And that much simple green. And sand some more. All right, ceramic coating is the last step, and the towelettes are quite moist, and you just go from one end to the other. They say in not a back and forth motion with a 50% overlap, and it looks damn near like a brand new headlight, man. Those are water droplets that are on the inside, and this one, same thing. We got water droplets on the inside. That I'll get that out later, but it says leave it for 60 minutes before any water touches it. I think that's pretty darn good, man. Houston, we have a problem. That little white clip in there toward the bottom of your screen there, that is part of this adjuster, and it had popped off the little plastic ball, and I was in the process of trying to pull it so it would snap back onto the little ball, and I broke the little ball off, which is that little thing right there. So now we have to figure out how to fix this. Okay, I got the part out of the headlight assembly. I don't know if super glue is going to do this, but we're going to give it our best shot. And it looks like there's like a hollow little thing right in the middle. After I get this glued on, I think I'm going to drill it and put a pin down the middle of it. All right, super glue and accelerator spray. Looks like it did its thing here. It looks well adhered. pretty much can't see even, there's where the crack is right there. I scraped off all the squeeze out using a razor blade. I think I'll do a little bit more. And I've got some room down in the corners of the plus sign looking shape to put some reinforcement pieces. So I'm going to give that a try. I'm not exactly sure how I'm going to pull this off. But I mean, the original plastic, without it being broken, well, it might have already been cracked, but I don't know. But before I broke it, it wasn't strong enough to snap back into the white plastic piece. I mean, I could do it more carefully now, but yeah. We're getting ready. I cut some little tiny pieces of oak, and I'm going to put 4 pieces, one in each of those little valleys, and glue them with super glue. I'm not going to be able to show you me doing this because this is going to take like 3 hands. And that's what it looks like after a little bit of filing. So that's as strong as that's going to get. And I would venture to say it's stronger now than the original. Now the challenge is going to be to snap this into that white piece without breaking it, which I think I could just squeeze with a pair of pliers. And then I'm not even sure if I'm going to be able to get this installed into the headlight assembly, because I just barely got this thing out of there without the white piece being snapped onto it. Wow, that was really tight. I mean, tight in a good way, the way that snapped on there. I don't know how in the world that thing could have come off. All right, let's see if we can fish this thing into the headlight assembly now. This is like definitely designed to have been done before this headlight was, the front was glued onto the back. And I really don't want to try to take this apart because I'm sure that will be difficult. It's probably a urethane. I just broke another part. This stuff is kind of fragile. That's another ball socket thing. I yanked on it and this metal clip is holding it. I didn't see that. Man, this is getting harder by the minute. Wow, I got it in there. Man, if only I didn't break this other piece, I'd be done. Son of a gun. All right, let's fix this thing now, or make a new one. I glued it. It's super glued together. I didn't take the time to put that little piece on there because there's, where this thing broke is right at the ball, and the ball split in half. And I seriously doubt that this would be strong enough to go into those little snaps and then hold up. And so I'm going to make a new one. I've got a piece of aluminum here. I think I can pull this off. This should not be that hard to do. Well, that's pretty close. I mean, we're like 1/1000th of an inch on the diameter. So now we got to do is spin this thing around and do the other side, and we should be golden. That's pretty darn close. Let's see how they fit. All right, pretty darn perfect, I'd say. I don't want to abuse this thing, but I snapped both ends of this thing into there, and it's about as perfect as you can get. And the angularity that I built into it there gives it plenty of pivot. It's perfect. So now we just have to figure out how we're going to assemble this thing, because those two little snap rings, these two guys, are there to secure the these little ears from spreading and that thing popping out. So I guess what we're going to do is put the rod into this and put the ring on, slip the other ring over the rod, snap it into that thing, and then somehow push this ring over those fingers that are up in there. See if I can show you that piece. It's right there behind those yellow wires. All right, so yeah, I'm a little tempted to call it a night because I'm tired and it's 10 o'clock at night, but I'm excited to see this thing done. I'm going to wash my hands because I got a bunch of tap magic all over me, and I don't know if that'll mess up the finish on the plastic out there. Well, I tell you, I really pulled a rabbit out of a hat. I spent 30 minutes getting that little clip, that ring clip, to squeeze on there. But now we are perfectly done. Put my light bulb back in there now. Now that looks like that's going to be a two-hander, I guess. Well, you know what? That was a heck of a lot more work than it started out as being. But you know, I'm happy with how it turned out. Saved myself a bunch of money. These things are really expensive. I'd probably be dropping $500 to buy incandescent, or maybe $1,000 to buy LED ones. If I was going to spend the money, I'd upgrade to the LEDs. So they're really expensive, and I'm glad I was able to save them. That one's a little duller. It's full of all kinds of handprints. I'm not going to try to clean that until tomorrow when the coating is fully dry, but job well done here.